Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Morgan, and today I'm going to be doing answering bookish questions. So let's get into it. So the first question is Kindle or physical book. Now I would say it depends because I've been really into reading those physical books and being able to seeing the progress that I'm making on the book, and so I've been really trying to also read a lot of the books that I have physical copies of, and then also keeping in mind books that I want to read, but getting the physical copies of those books so that I'm reading an actual book. And I'm not saying that reading on my Kindle is not reading an actual book. It completely is, but I would say I gravitate more towards my Kindle, which is why it's kind of my goal that I read more physical books so that I'm reading more actual books. So yeah, that's my answer for that. The next question is an overhyped book that you didn't like. This is such an easy question. Check and Mate. I feel like so many people have been talking about Check and Mate, and it's just not my cup of tea. I could not get into it. I read 70 pages into the book. I tried listening to the audiobook. I tried reading it on my Kindle. I tried reading it physical book. Nothing was working for me, and so I kind of just gave up. But I've been hearing so many people raving about it. Larry Reads on YouTube is giddy. She thought it was a 5-star read. And so I'm like, okay, should I give it another shot? What's going on here, you know? The next question is my current read, and I'm currently reading The Nice List by Victoria Ellie, I think. Anyway, but I'll show you the cover. It's The Nice List. So that's what I'm currently reading. So the next question is, how do you read so many books in a month? Now, this is kind of a loaded question because I don't really know. So in the month of November, I read 21 books, and so far this month in December, I've read 13 books, and it's the 15th of December. So yeah. So my first month back into reading, I read 10 books. My second month, I read 11. My third month, I read 4, I think. And then in my fifth month, I read 6 or 7. In October, I read 1. November, I read 21. And December, so far, I'm at 13. So honestly, I mood read, and if I'm in the mood to read something, then I'll read it, but yeah, I don't really know how to answer that question because I don't know how I read so much in a month. I think it helps that I make the time to read. So if I'm laying in bed at night, instead of playing on my phone, I read. When I wake up in the morning, instead of playing on my phone, I read. If I have free time, I'll read on the Kindle app on my phone. If just any spare time I have, and I always have books with me because I always have my phone. And even if I don't have my Kindle, I have my Kindle app. So I have access to all of my Kindle books on my phone. So if I'm in the grocery store with my mom and I'm bored, I'm walking and I'm reading. So I kind of just make the time, and I make sure I have time set every day where I'm reading. Any tips on saving money while buying books? So, my biggest tip, for this is buying books that are the buy one, get one 50% off at Barnes & Noble. This is going to be the easiest way because you're buying one book and getting the second one 50% off, half off. And so I try and buy all of I try and look at the books that are buy one get one 50% off and only buy those ones because you're gonna get more bang for your buck if you buy the buy one get one 50% off. Another thing that I'm testing out, I ordered off of this place a while ago, like a couple days ago, and I'm waiting for my order to come in. But Pango Books is like, I keep saying it's like the Facebook marketplace of books, and so they have books that are like really cheap that you can buy. Another thing is just like going to your used bookstore and looking through the books. I've gotten so many nice new books at like used half price books. And then also going to Target, and like if you find a book at Target and you find it online cheaper, they'll price match. So yeah. Okay, so the next question is my favorite and least favorite tropes. My favorite, I literally just posted a video on this, but my favorite is like single dad, baker main character, chef main character, friends to lovers, small town, nanny romance, sports romance, preferably hockey. Yeah. Contrary to that, my least favorite, I haven't read a love triangle book, but I don't feel like I would like it, so I've kind of been avoiding that. So the next question is books you feel strongly impacted you. The biggest one that I can think of is Twilight, because it's the reason that I got into reading in the first place. It's the reason that I fell in love with reading, and I just really, 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 I owe a lot to the Twilight series, and like the Hunger Games series and Divergent, because those are the books that got me into reading, and those are the books that have made me want to continue reading and make reading so enjoyable for me. The next question is read a series back to back or spaced out. So I typically like to do it back to back. However, I just finished the series that I read. I read two series this month. The first one being The Confidence of Wildflowers, and then the second one is The Cottonwood Cove. Now with The Cottonwood Cove, it's like the second series to Honey Mountain, which I read in November. So with Cottonwood Cove, we're seeing all the characters that we saw in Honey Mountain in Cottonwood Cove, and so I didn't want Honey Mountain to end, so I started Cottonwood Cove, and I read the first book, and then I read The Confidence of Wildflowers, and then I read the second book, and then I read a couple books, and then I read the third book, and then I read the fourth book right after reading the third book, and then after the fourth book, I read one book, and then I picked up the last book, and now that I read that last book, I'm sad. And I'm like, I wish I would have spaced it out more. So I think it just depends on the series. If I really fall in love with the series, I would say I would space it out. But if it's a series that like I know there's more to it, then I'll read it all at once, because technically, like in my mind, the Honey Mountain Cottonwood Cove is like it's all one universe, and so we're seeing everyone in those books. So in my mind, that series was 10 books, but I loved it. The last question I'm going to answer is my 2024 reading goal. I'm going to say 100 books. I'm going to say 100, because right now my reading, I've read 67 books, and I started reading in June. So I know I'll probably, like, hopefully I exceed that goal of 100 books, but right now, I'm going to say 100. I'm sure I'll change it, but I'm going to say 100 books, because that seems like a safe spot for me, but I'm also trying to get to 75 books by the end of this year, and I'm at 67, so I have, like, 8 more books to read, which I feel like I'll be able to do it, especially since I'm on my 68th book, so then it's 7 books, but I'm going to say 100 books for 2024. I hope I can do it. I think I'll be able to do it, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this little Q&A. I'll see you later. Bye.